I'd like to welcome everybody to Humphrey Coliseum today on what is indeed a special day on our campus with the announcement of our 20th head coach in our program's history. Just a few house notes. Media, as soon as Coach Howland is done with his statements, he'll take your questions. And then after that, if you need anything from Mr. Strickland, we'll have him available on the floor. When it comes to the Q&A part of the press conference, we just ask that media members only ask questions. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to our athletics director, Scott Strickland.
Thank you, Greg, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here today and coming out on this exciting occasion. Our president, Dr. Mark Keenum, regrets that he could not be here today because of his prior travel schedule, but I know he shares in the excitement of this great day for Mississippi State and our basketball program. I first met Ben Howland several years ago. He was the head coach at UCLA. I was working at Kentucky, and those two teams played each other in some early season tournament a couple times. Remember once in the Maui Invitational, once out in Anaheim. And I've long been an admirer of him and his teams and the way they played and the way they competed. And when the decision was made to seek a new direction for our men's basketball program, there was no question in my mind that there was one target we had to start with, and that was Ben Howland. For Mississippi State to be successful in any sport, it's important we do so with coaches and student athletes who represent what makes our school so special. People who are tough, competitive, and hardworking. Ben, his teams, the ones he's coached in the past, embody those characteristics. You know, our school is also successful when our young people have a desire to develop and improve, and when they are being coached by talented leaders who have the ability to get the most out of them. Ben's track record of developing and mentoring great players is well documented, as evidenced by the nearly 24 former players who have gone on to play in the NBA. So, we made the decision that Ben was our top target, and we went to work trying to get him to come to Mississippi State. Ben and I had a series of highly productive phone calls Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening, several more Sunday, and that led to a meeting in Atlanta Monday where we finalized the deal that has led us to where we are here today before you. Before I bring Ben up here, and I know you guys want to hear from him, there's one thing I'd like to mention. Mississippi State's men's basketball program can compete at the highest level, just as several other Bulldog teams have done in recent years and are continuing to do so. And it can do so, it can compete at the highest level while going about its job and its business in a first-class manner with integrity. But for any of that to happen, in order for us to see the maroon and white cut down nets and hang up some more banners, every single person who cares about Mississippi State and our basketball program, that includes players, coaches and staff, students and faculty, alumni and fans, every single person must be on the same page and willing to do their part. And for students and alumni and fans, that means filling up this arena and getting the hump rocking and making this once again the toughest place to play in the Southeastern Conference. From a coaching standpoint, I believe we found a man who's going to do his part. In 19 years as a head coach, Ben Howland's teams have averaged 21 wins a year. He's been a part of 8 conference championships. He's taken 3 different schools to the NCAA tournament, advanced to 5 Sweet 16s, and had 3 teams make it to the Final Four. He's a winner and one who's ready to invest in the people of Mississippi and Bulldogs everywhere and bring championship basketball back to the hump. This is a great time to be a Bulldog, and it's going to keep getting better. Please join me in welcoming the 20th head basketball coach at Mississippi State, Ben Howland. Let me do this right here.
Thank you very much. My family and I are honored to be here today. So excited to become a part of this great university. I am really, really humbled and overwhelmed by the crowd that's here today to be a part of this initial conference of mine. You know, to be a part of Mississippi State University, which is steeped in tradition and is recognized as the flagship research institution in this state, is a big deal. It's an incredible honor and blessing for me. I'm fully aware and want to commit myself to the understanding of what's expected. I really am a great believer in President Keenum's vision for this university of instilling in its students and the student athletes and alumni the ideals of diversity, citizenship, leadership, and service. These ideals will set the tone for how we're going to run and operate and conduct ourselves in Bulldog basketball. Our student athletes will be citizens of this university that will make us all very proud. It's tantamount to me that our players develop in all facets of their life, in mind, body, and spirit. They're all interrelated. Now let me speak a little bit specifically about our basketball program and what you can expect. Nobody is going to play harder than Mississippi State. And I want to hear an applause about that. No one is going to be more better prepared than our players and our team as we get ready to compete. And it starts with our individual workouts, which will begin very soon here with our team. It starts every day with the commitment, the sacrifice, the dedication it takes to be great and to be special. Our strength coach, I had a chance to meet, very impressed with the program that we have set up in place already. You know, conditioning is a big part. We got to be better conditioned than our opponents. And that's something I learned from Coach John Wooden, the greatest coach ever. That was a very important part of some of the very special things that I had a chance to visit with him about over the years, getting to know him. It's really important that our players get great nutrition and great understanding of how important it is to be rested and to get the proper amount of rest. Most college students, they think they can go to bed at 3 o'clock, wake up at 8 in the morning, and everything's good. Not for athletes. And so it's so important that we get that understanding so that we can be the very best that we can be as individuals and as a team. All of this leads us to the ability to perform at the highest level. You know, I expect our team, and we will be a team that is tough. And that's one of the things when I visited and was thinking about this job with Scott that really impressed me in talking with him, the vision and understanding of what it takes to be successful here at State. Defense has been and always will be a priority for me. I'm a strong believer that championships are won and started at the defensive end of the floor. Whether you're talking about basketball, football, baseball, it starts by having a constant defensive presence that you can count on. Defense wins on the road, and you have to win on the road to be a champion. Offensively, we will start every possession pushing the ball. Something I did my last year at UCLA, which I really regret not doing sooner in my career, was making a huge emphasis to push the ball on all makes and misses, and especially on makes now. Most teams do not expect you to run after they've scored. Most times now you see kids, what are they doing after they score a lot of the time? They're celebrating. And meanwhile, we're taking the ball out of the net, pushing it up quickly, and trying to get a layup or a wide open three or a good shot, depending on who's taking it. My last team at UCLA led the conference in scoring. It was 8th in the country in transition opportunities and minutes in transition. And that's what we will expect to do here at Mississippi State. Once we get into a half-court set, I expect our team to execute in, number one, take good shots and play unselfishly. I love players that are unselfish. And that's one of the things that our players will understand from me as a coach, that I praise unselfishness above all, giving yourself up for your team and your teammates. The best teams that I've coached and had an opportunity to be a part of are when the players are really playing for one another. That's when it's special, when you're playing for each other. I'm really excited to work with our current team. I had the opportunity to meet with our team last night in the locker room and was so impressed, number one, with their attentiveness, their eye contact. They've been raised the right way. They know that when they're being talked to or they're talking to someone, to give that person eye contact and respect. I watched as Scott introduced me, and I was really, really impressed with that. That was very exciting for me because not everybody gets that around the country. Obviously, these kids do, and that makes me feel very good. I'm also very excited to get started on one of the most important aspects of any program, and that's recruiting. We're putting together what I think is going to be one of the best basketball staffs in the country. And this is a team effort. Yeah, please. I know our staff is going to be elated to recruit to one of the best institutions in the best conference in America, the Southeastern Conference. I'd like to recognize, I'm really impressed with the tradition and history of this program, and I'd like to recognize a few people, and I've followed this program over the years. And the first person that comes to mind that I'd like to recognize, I know is here today, and I'd like to have him stand up, Bailey Howell. Where is Bailey Howell? As a young kid growing up in California, I grew up in Santa Barbara, California. My father was a pastor. I'm the son of a preacher. And I grew up there, moved there when I was 2 years old from Oregon. So I became a Laker fan. And Bailey Howell and the Boston Celtics ruined my childhood year after year by beating the Lakers every year in the finals, it seemed. And I remember you had a crew cut back in the day, as I remember, Bailey. But I'm really looking forward to getting to know you much better and really honored to be here and really appreciate this opportunity to get to know you and your family. And I've already got a chance to know your lovely daughter. I want to really recognize, too, as a young coach, a coach that I was so impressed with, one of my great memories of going to a Final Four was the last time a Final Four was held inside a true arena before they got to all the big, huge football arenas. That was 1996 when Richard Williams, where's Richard? Richard Williams took this program to the Final Four with a chance to win the national championship. And make no mistake about it, that is our goal, to get back there again. I also have had a good friendship over the years and have great respect for Rick Stansberry and what he meant to this program. And taking this program to 6 NCAA tournaments along with assisting Coach Williams prior to becoming the head coach. And I have great respect for what he accomplished here during his tenure. And of course, I have great respect for Rick Ray. As I told you, I met our team last night for the first time, and I was so impressed with the character of these young men and the importance that they took in recruiting. Coach Ray and his staff are recruiting not only good players, but young men of high character and integrity, because that's who we expect to represent this university and this basketball program. So I really appreciate all his contributions to the program. And it's impressive to me when I talk to people here at Mississippi State, how everybody has great respect for the fact that these are really good kids, both on and off the floor, and conduct themselves appropriately. I'm really excited. You know, we just ended the season on March 11th. We're going to give them probably the rest of this week to heal. I always think it's good to give kids usually 3 weeks at the end of a season, because it's a grind to really do it the right way going through a season, as they know. But I'm excited to get started and get in the gym and start working on the fundamentals that I believe in and I believe can help them become their very best as individuals and as a team. Recruiting is the lifeblood of any program, whether it be basketball, football, baseball, and no question about it, that is going to be a huge priority getting started right now. I'm very excited to be in such a hotbed. When I sat down and really looked at the history and tradition of the state of Mississippi and all the great players that have come out of the state, along with the South and the surrounding communities close here to Starkville, it's a super impressive list. When you start thinking about the all-time greats in the game, and you think about guys that were close by that didn't end up here, Karl Malone and Willis Reed, you know, et cetera, it's incredible. Robert Parrish, the players that have grown up in this surrounding, much less the great players that we've had in this program. It's a great hotbed for talent, and I'm excited, very excited, to get to know the high school coaches of the state of Mississippi and the surrounding area, along with all the AAU coaches and the leaders of those programs, to help bring the best players in the state of Mississippi and the South to Mississippi State. I want to build relationships with those constituencies in the coaching community that will help build Mississippi State basketball to a program that we're all going to be incredibly proud of. And I'll tell you this, I can't wait to coach here in the Hump. I can't wait for my first game. And I've witnessed the support from afar this last couple of years. There's one thing I do during football season is sit there in front of the TV and watch the SEC. There's nothing else to watch. It's true. I've seen and enjoyed the unbelievable support at Davis-Wade Stadium for the football program, and I know it is the envy of so many programs around the country to have the kind of game day experience and fan support that you guys enjoy and you guys create as the fans for this great football program. And I'm really looking forward to meeting with Dan Mullen and his staff, along with Coach Schaefer, Coach Cohen, and along with all the rest of the talented coaches here at Mississippi State, to learn and gain knowledge from them. And really excited to be a part of that family. And one of the things that really drew me here, and it's interesting, I talked to Mike Slive yesterday, the commissioner of the SEC, and he says, you know, every different school in this great conference has their little niche. And I'd heard this multiple times, but this reinforces what you hear when you're talking to the commissioner. He said, the thing that makes Mississippi State so special in my mind, Ben, is it's all about family there. That community, that university community is about family. And for me, that is so important. That's what it's all about. And so I'm so excited to be a part of this community and this coaching community here on campus. You know, one of the things in watching from afar this year in my living room in Santa Barbara, and I only watch, I'm telling you, the SEC in football is like this compared to the rest of the country. I know everybody knows that, but even people from afar recognize that. It's night and day. It's like watching the NFL versus, the high school teams when you're talking about comparing the SEC to any other conference. But when I watched Mississippi State over and over again, it had such great admiration to have this program #1 for 5 weeks in a row. The one guy that obviously stood out was Dak Prescott to me. Yeah, give him a hand. I know our players know, but he really embodies the kind of kid that I want to recruit for our basketball program because he inspires others. He's a leader. He's all about the team. And I'm so excited to be here to witness as this program moves forward from what they've done this past year and to watch Dak become the first Heisman Trophy winner in the history of the state of Mississippi. And I want to get back now to the hump. I love this arena. And it is widely known in college basketball circles that you don't have to go back very long to remember that this was one of the toughest places, if not the toughest home court to come in and win for an opposing team in the SEC. I mean, the phenomenal support of the fans and the student body is very, very widely known. And I'm really excited to get that going. In order to have a very successful program and to win at the highest level, you've got to have a great home court. And so I, along with our players and our coaches, are counting on you to come out and give these kids the most support that you can possibly give to help our team have success. We need that home court. Our fans deserve it. The atmosphere and the home court advantage that we'll have here is going to be really exciting, and I'm looking forward to working with our marketing department and trying to maximize all the relationships with the student body on campus. We're going to do special things to reach out to the students and to the fans. I want you guys to all know how important you are to me and to our program and for our opportunity to have success here at Mississippi State. And I want you to know I had a wonderful time last night with Dr. Keenum and his wife Rhonda. At their house, we had dinner, and it was just so special. I love Dr. Keenum, and his wife is phenomenal. We're very fortunate to have such great leadership at the very top of this university, and it's going to be special. And one thing I'll tell you that he made very clear to me last night, you must beat Ole Miss. I was a part of a great rivalry game for 10 years in Los Angeles between USC and UCLA. I understand rivalries. We're always going to treat our opponent with respect. We fear no one, and we will always give them the proper respect as fans and as a team. But we're going to go after our rivals in a big way and make it a very tough game every time we hook it up. The one thing that I was so appreciative of Dr. Keenum was his passion for this university and his passion for athletics. His wife told a great story. They were in the car last week with the 3 kids on going up to stay at their cabin, and she's driving, and they got the triplets in the back with their little baby, and he's got the softball game going on the radio. He's got the volleyball game going, he's got 3 different games he's following. I mean, he is into it, and that makes me feel good as a coach. I'm really, really, too, just incredibly humbled to be working for Scott Strickland. I've known him for many years. I think he indicated that our relationship goes back to when I was at UCLA and he was at Kentucky. I'm looking forward to learning from him. I really was so impressed with his vision, his passion, how much he loves this university. and this athletic program, and I look forward to building a basketball program together for many years to come that we're all in this room and throughout this state and throughout Bulldog Nation going to be very, very proud of as we're moving forward. And then I want to introduce two of the most important people. I'm sorry. I get emotional when I start talking about my family because I love them so much. First, I want to introduce my daughter, Meredith. This is Meredith. We have two children. Meredith is a pediatric oncologist, nurse at UCLA. She got her degree, undergrad at Pitt, where I was for 4 years the head coach, and then got her master's degree at UCLA, and has been a nurse there now for 7 years, helping little kids and youngsters who have cancer beat cancer and survive, and I couldn't be more proud. She has a brother, Adam, and Adam is just in the process of taking a new job, and I'm so proud of him. He has just been offered the job as assistant district attorney in Santa Barbara, and so I'm so proud of him. He went to UCLA undergrad, Pepperdine Law School, and is now going to be fighting crime. And I really feel very good about that and very excited for him and his wife, Brittany, and our first grandson and grandchild, little Benjamin Clark Howland II. And he's really the joy of our life. For those of you that have a grandchild, there is nothing more special than to watch your children become parents and see that next generation grow. Most importantly, I would not be here today without the support and the love of my wife, Kim. As any coach knows, it takes a special person to be a coach's wife. I've been a Division I coach for 32 years. Kim and I have been married for 34 years together, and it's been such a blessing for me. You know, I can't imagine life without her. And she's been my compass. And one thing I know, that you will never meet a better Christian woman. And I look forward so much to all of you. Thank you. I know of no one who better exemplifies being a person of God than my wife. And that's really special for me. I look forward to all of you getting to know Kim and getting to know me. And I think that one thing you'll find as you get to know us, that we share your Southern values of God and family first in our lives. That's who we are, and that's why I know that we're going to be very, very comfortable here in Starkville. I have a great feeling about the people here, and they're so looking forward to living here and being a part of your community and being a part of this university community. So I just want you to know that I am humbled and I am grateful to have this opportunity to be your coach and lead this program. And it's a great day for me and my family. And I want to have one last thing to say, and that is, Hail State!